If Marvel superheroes were made by J.K. Rowling, what unnecessary characteristic would she have given them? Contrary to what you might think, Thanos' favorite Ben & Jerry's flavor is not half-baked, and he's heard that joke so many times it actually annoys him. Thanos has actually been lactose intolerant the whole time. Rocket Raccoon used to be a Korean woman. Thanos knocked up Black Widow, literally no one noticed or knew anything about it, and the fruit of their illicit affair will grow up and attempt to avenge her father's inevitable demise. Thor wet the bed until he was 12. 1489 years without incident and still going strong. Hulk's D doesn't shrink when he goes back to being Bruce Banner. Thor's hammer would speak and sing songs regularly. Pepper Potts is allergic to peppers. Loki's favorite color is actually red. He wears green because he's colorblind. He all uses his power to watch people jerk it. Odin and Frigga were swingers. Black Widow was black all along. Iron Man craps himself in the suit on the regular. It's turned into fuel for his force beams. It has a tendency to build up when he's not in combat. James Rhodes' grandmother was the younger sister to T'Challa's grandmother. It doesn't come up, but it's important everyone is arbitrarily related. Jarvis likes to sing a song to Tony each time he powers on the suit, but the song changes each time. Red Skull actually didn't always go along with the Nazi ideologies. He wanted the Tesseract to prevent the Holocaust. He was just really bad at communicating this. Black Widow actually can and will have children. You get to see them briefly in the happy ending epilogue. Tassiface and Drax used to be in a relationship, but they broke up because Drax was worried about getting shocked down there. Wakanda is super advanced, but they have no plumbing because they just vibranium their crap away. Loki is actually into bestiality and had a horse offspring. Oh wait. Hulk is gay. Bruce Banner isn't. The spider bite also turned Peter Parker into a furry. Spider is just his fursona. He actually doesn't care if people know his identity. He's just been wearing his furry suit the whole time. Spider-Man doesn't wear any underwear under his suit because he chafes. Jessica Jones is into anal. Mr. Fantastic is fantastic in bed, if you know what I mean. Iron Man is actually adopted. Iceman was actually gay all along. Deadpool killed Hitler. The Green Goblin and the Sandman are actually distant cousins, and that's why they have similar hair. Following the unfortunate incident in the Mk3 suit that left Tony sore for 3 days and unable to perform for 8, Iron Man suits now offer extra space in the crotch area so as to avoid penile bruising and other unfortunate issues in the cases where have an erection. Fun fact, the crotch area in the suit made for Bruce Banner has enough space for 2 children's or a dozen puppies to fit inside comfortably, as long as the suit isn't in use. No more than a couple of puppies otherwise. Captain America actually craps out a 12-inch statue of Stalin monthly, but is embarrassed to tell anyone. Iron Man would have a 3rd nipple. Captain Marvel's nipples can shoot plasma blasts as well, allowing her to shoot from her hands as well as her chest. Her suit opens for a split second, allowing the blast to go through it without revealing anything. This is actually used in her toughest battles, but you just don't notice it. This is actually my personal headcanon. Spider-Man produces organic silk, just like a spider. Like a spider, it comes from a gland near his anus. Being a teenager is prone to enough embarrassment, and shooting sticky stuff from your ass would not help. Peter harvests his silk in private and adds his own mixture to make it dissolve over a few hours. He is terrified of this secret being discovered because he leaves webs all over the place, and that would be super embarrassing, but he also takes an immature delight in shooting his butt juice on people. Captain America is actually a Middle Eastern Muslim. She would mention this after the material is out, and despite the comics showing him as white. The spider that bit Spider-Man got human-like qualities when it interacted with Peter Parker, and now is Man Spider, the Spider-Man of the insect world. Deadpool is a hentai enthusiast. Vision is poly. Doctor Strange is actually Asian. Scarlet Witch is a furry. Tony Stark supports abortion. Captain America's dad was actually black, which makes Captain America half black and allows him to use the N-word. Black Panther was a single working mother. All Asgardians are now refugees, since Asgard is gone. The Asgardians are now entirely people of color. Scarlet Witch is a metaphor for menstruation and how women are burdened by biological processes, but are nonetheless powerful. Spider-Man is a member of Antifa. Doctor Strange has a bachelor's degree in gender studies. Captain America and Bucky were lovers during the events of Captain America 1, but after the events of the movie they no longer remember it. However, they still experience sexual tension around each other. Ultron is constantly angry that it is referred to with masculine pronouns. Black Widow frequently donates to Planned Parenthood. Whiplash is a metaphor for Tony's struggle to accept his BDSM kink. Michelle, MJ, is actually the long-lost sister of Peter Parker. She's lost after Shuri carries her away from her room in a sinking ship that belonged to Howard Stark. MJ is switched up with Shuri's baby cousin Killmonger, who is presumed dead in the sinking. Michelle will eventually get separated from her new family and raised in an orphanage run by Loki. She is abused until her Wakandan heritage kicks in and all the vibranium inside her starts to take over. Thor, Jane Foster and Selvig beat the vibranium force and assume Michelle is dead. Then a Badiat stone finds her and convinces her to join him with the help of a converted Jane Foster. Jane had just dumped Thor when a Badiat told a forum full of people of his plans to kill all Asgardians. Stone then whispers to Michelle, "You can do whatever a spider can," and she shoots a massive web through her wrists. We are also supposed to assume Peter Parker and Obadiah Stone were an intense sexually active couple, just because they touched hands in a flashback. The Hulk's hole got mutated by a gamma ray story is a ploy. The real reason he becomes a violent monster whenever he gets mad is because he is a bigoted white male filled with scorching hatred for minorities. Hulk is a gamer, enlightened and based. Like real spiders, Spider-Man also shoots webbing out of his butt. However, his suit is designed to root his but web through ducts in the seams that redirect to his wrists web shooters too. Therefore, Spider-Man's suit gives him not just protection, but simultaneously improves his existing web-slinging ability and confirms his gay love affair with Daredevil. Jane Grey uses telekinesis to knit sweaters. Wolverine regularly lops off body parts just to see them growing back for entertainment. Bruce Banner pays to be dominated by female wrestlers. Northstar is secretly heterosexual. Tony Stark is actually 1/16th Native American. Hulk also needs glasses like Bruce Banner, but always loses them. Thor has tinnitus from all the thunder. Captain America hates atheists. Tony Stark has cerebral palsy. He just doesn't talk about it. Doctor Strange hates odd numbers. Thanos has 8 pet kitties all named after obscure colors. Captain America wants to become a woman. Iron Man suffers from a narrow urethra and frequent bladder infections. Thanos has been diagnosed with gender dysphoria and suffers PTSD. Black Panther is now a full-time nurse who wipes asses at a nursing home for a living. Scarlet Witch has to say "I like turtles" every time she casts a spell to match her mentally challenged hand gestures. Thanos, formerly known as Thanissa, is actually a transgender man. He adopted Nebula and Gamora due to not being able to have any biological kids of his own. He never called them his daughters, using only gender-neutral pronouns until they were old enough to pick a gender for themselves. They're all gay.